preppers do want people to be ready.
Even the government says you should have cash on hand, a couple weeks worth of medical supplies, your medicine.
Because if disaster does strike, you will have to deal with it, ready or not.
Okay, we're making use of some time, and what I'm doing is I'm gathering some previously laid out trees, deadwood. I've just put on a rack there. Whether I use it tonight or what, I don't know, but at least it's off the ground. Okay, it's not a bad way to dry the wood out. I mean, that is really dry. It snaps nice and clean, which is good. Well, you can see there's another bit of deadwood, but it's on the floor. Okay. I suspect it hasn't been there long because it's not just rotting away. So me being me, I've been thinking ahead. Now there's quite a few things like this lying around. So what I've been doing is just been picking them off the floor and just storing them for future use. Okay? Now there's loads of it everywhere, and it makes sense to me. Okay. And I know we're taught, you know, don't pick up stuff off the floor and use it, but doing it this way, you know, finding stuff off the floor which hasn't been there that long, getting it up to air dry, it's awesome. And to be fair, it didn't take me long to get all of that firewood and where I'm camping there. It didn't take long at all, because I stashed it a few years ago all around the place, just like I'm doing now. And you always got to store it in, okay? Otherwise you'll end up going further and further and further away from where you're camping. Alright, so yeah, always keep one eye on the future. And it's probably a good idea not to do big, like loads of stores of it in local areas. It just looks dodgy. But the odd tree now and again like this is good. And up here as well, it's a nice bit, loads of little twigs which we need to start a fire. And all it's doing is just resting on the branches off of the floor, keep it nice and dry for future use. Okay, there's my little basher set up there. Now what I like to try and do, and I've been doing this, well, God knows how many years, but it works really well. Just find some old pieces of wood, okay? You're not going to be setting fire to it. All you're going to be doing is you're going to be putting it all over the floor, around everywhere, okay? All different distances. It could be 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, whatever you want. As much as possible, okay? All it does is if someone does try to creep in, they're going to be making noises, alright? So make use of the light before it goes, because once it goes, you're playing catch up. Right, well, we're starting to lose the light now, so we've got to be quick, alright? What I've decided to do is to make a path between my setup and where I've got a lot of the small dried firewood stored, okay? Now my plan is to sit on that little stump there and have a fire pretty much where that stick is. Now I got this stick a while ago, I hardened it and pointed the end to somewhat, and all that's enabled me to do is to dig out the ground a little bit because it's very, very stony, okay? Now I've got a shovel on me, but I really want to see how I fare without it. So this is pretty much like a bug out bag video which isn't being used. That's how it's turning out, but there you go, okay? I know the shovel's okay, so I'm just going to see how I get on with this stick. You got some food in there as well, look. Nice. We'll stick him in the pot for later on. You stay where you are. That's the benefit of having all this wet weather, see? There is food everywhere. And you can see what I mean about the ground being very stony, alright? So it just makes sense to break up a bit like this, and then you can just kick it without your foot. You don't need any tools, just a bit of wood. So it doesn't take too long actually. As I say, with the ground being so nice and moist, it's a no-brainer really, it's a doddle to do. Now I don't want to have a great big fire pit, alright, just for me. Just for a bit of warmth, alright? Hasn't got to be massive. Now I don't want to go too deep, and the wind is coming from this direction. So I'm going to use this pole to make an air hole, or a couple of air holes, just to sort of feed some oxygen in there. And with all of these stones, I'm just going to put in the bottom there. Now, a lot of that's flint, so I'm not sure if that's a good idea actually. No, I'll take them out because they're just going to explode. Get all the stones out. It's worth thinking about, see? You can easily make mistakes. But any of you guys who are into your gardening or growing vegetables, etc., the soil here is beautiful. It's absolutely amazing. You can grow all sorts here. And I remember a long time ago now, one of my subscribers, I can't remember his name because there's just so bloody many now, he actually suggested plant potatoes in your bug out locations. Okay, so obviously you can have potatoes for different seasons, so theoretically you should have potatoes in that spot every month of the year. Okay, so that's worth thinking about as well, because the ground really will take it. Okay, now all I'm doing is I'm pushing slowly and turning it as I'm pushing, and there it comes through the end there. Okay, and I'm going to create a few of those. This should just help feed the fire. It's like a coated fire pit in that sense of the word, but you just twist it as you push, and make sure you pack it, pull it out gently so it doesn't collapse. Alright, right, we've got an old split log which is quite damp and rotten and horrible. It's been partially burnt, found from a long way back, so that's going to be the base of the fire. We've got loads of thin twiggly sticklets, whatever you want to call them. Now I've had all this birch bark obviously been drying out in my smock for a good 3 hours now, so that's pretty good actually. It's actually warm because it's been with my body, so excellent. So we're just going to strip prep some of this, and that is pretty much the base of our fire lay. Alright, now I've got plenty left on me, I'm not going to be using it all. I always tend to use, or like to use some as backup, okay, in case there's a problem later on, the fire dies down or whatever, I can get it going again. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. Alright, so I've got plenty. Now what I'm trying to do is to make it foolproof with air, and to get as much heat there as possible. Okay, the more heat you got, the more chance you got. So we're not going to be lighting a fire just yet. I just wanted to get it prepped now before it got too dark. All right. Boo! Can you see me all right? It's getting dark, but I've still got loads of workable light. I'm not using any torches. Okay. I can't stress how important it is to get as much done as possible whilst you've still got daylight or relative light. Okay, very important, because you doing this in the dark without torches, it's doable, it just takes twice as long. So all I'm doing now is I'm getting my firewood already prepared. Okay, it's nice and dry, you know, considering all of the rain we've had. It's just it always pays to have a look around. If you see any wood hanging on any trees, just get it, okay, because that's going to be your only chance really. Now this video is turning out to be what you can do without tools at the moment. Bloody pheasants, honestly, there's food everywhere in this place. It reminds me of a New Forest, there's tons down there. But over here, they were shooting earlier, you probably might have heard in the background. They better not be roosting all night, because you just won't sleep. You got to be a magician to sleep with all that lot going on. Buggers they are. So yeah, we're just going to be getting all this firewood done. Then it should be a relatively easy job to get the fire going and keep it going without walking around everywhere trying to find it in the dark, which is not best practice. you could get lost and all sorts. You're leaving the fire unattended. It's not good. Right, so I'm refraining from using my torch, as I said, but when it's proper dark I'll get it on because you guys won't see anything. Alright, you're probably struggling to see as it is. So yeah, I did want to do this without any light, but I have to do it so you guys can see. So it's not a true test for me, but it's just going to sort of show people, give people ideas, you know, if and when shit hits the fan, some little skills to bear in mind, okay? But what I will say is I'm no expert, alright? No expert, so don't go copying everything I do. Wow, I can't believe how dry this stuff is. It's amazing. But this bit might be tough. No, that's doable. That's too tough, but that'll burn alright later. Yeah, already we got a nice sort of stash of firewood. Okay, so we've been busy prepping all of the firewood. I found some old logs, and what I've done is I've rested them at an angle just to keep them off of the damp floor. Okay, now if I zoom in, you can see the fire lay area there, all of the birch bark and small twiglets. Okay, as we saw earlier, that's just sat on a half split charred log, alright, which is damp. So we're going to endeavour to get some birch bark, scrape it up, use the ferro rod to light the fire, and gradually feed the right amount of sticks on, and we should be okay. The weather is set fair. It's just amazing, really. But I don't know if you can see. There's the basher, and there's the Bergen still. Okay, it's fire time. I'm just going to use my EDC keys to do this. Okay. We've got a birch bark and my little EDC knife. Okay. I've got my survival knife and all the rest of it, but in fairness I haven't even needed it. Okay, so this is quite interesting really to see how we're getting on. Now obviously being multi-use, no, I'm still going to use the main blade. Now this is a lot easier if you do this on a flat surface. Okay, we're so blessed to have this log here, or I was so blessed to carry it up here. We're also lucky that it's not too windy. This is an easy method to use, but the downfall is if you get a gust of wind and you haven't protected it, all your hard work will literally vanish before your eyes. Okay, so as soon as it starts to be windy, I'm going to cover this up because it will disappear. Trust me, I've done it many times. Having the chisel grind on this blade is very, very good actually. It's so much better than having that stupid serrations. They were a joke. Right, let's go around this way. And the important thing with this is not to rush, okay? Now, I think the one of the hard things, I think some guys, when they're filming videos, because the camera's rolling and you feel like there's a race against time, and what will happen is you'll probably rush needlessly and you'll make mistakes. And you know, we've all done it. I've done it before. So I'll just take my time. Okay. So we've got a nice pile of shavings there. Now that's good, but we want more. Already we're starting to get a bit of wind, alright, so you've got to be careful. Now you can use either side of this bark, but I found that you get better results using the white side, okay? And I'll tell you what, keeping it in my body, in my smock with my body heat to dry this out is going to make all of the difference. I just know it, because I've done this before and it's wet and it's a bit tricky to get going with the ferro rod. It's doable, but this will be a lot easier. Now, my EDC keys there. Light my fire is my preferred. Okay, so what I've done is I've put them on individually, alright, so it don't all get tangled up. And it's just easier to take off and to use, alright, if there's two separate items. Now, put away things you're not going to be needing, so I don't need the rest of my tools and my knife, just that and that, that's all I need, alright. Get the other stuff ready. Yeah, oh, this is so dry, awesome. Yeah, that's really worked out. What like a charm, mate. That's a bit wet, obviously. We'll leave that to one side. But as with all of this, you need to realise that
preparation, preparation, preparation
is the key. All right. Nice one, Ben. So, and this is going to be tough because we've got the wind coming this way, and I need to get that way, but I can't because the camera's in the way. So this isn't going to be easy for me, but doing it is fine, but filming it and doing it is different, alright? So we're going to try. Yep, success. Now this is a crucial stage. Put the tools away. Hope that hasn't smothered. Yeah, we've had it. That's real life, I guess. Never easy. So all I'm going to do this time is prepare that. Hopefully that should lie easy, curl on itself. Never give up. Right, we did some more scraping. So I'm going to actually change the camera now. It just makes it easier for me to do, so hopefully we should be okay this time around. Right. A slightly larger pile of shavings this time, so we're going to hope for the best. Very damp. Very damp. Right. Yeah, this is bitch, man. This is proper damp. It's soaking wet. Come on, baby. Damn it. Let's try again. Wow, this is precarious. You'll be so careful. Maybe I should have prepared more of these pieces. God, it feels so wet. Even though it's let's try to be dried out. Oh, here we go. Phew! But we're not out of the woods yet. I've been here before. As nice as that looks, we're not out of the woods. Whew. Still don't believe it. Not yet. You should see the smoke. Whoa! You should see the smoke, baby. There's a lot. So you get as much heat in there as possible. I need to dry some of these twigs out because they're, even though they snap clean, they're still very damp. So I'm hoping that this doesn't burn down and go out because, as I said, I've been here before. Now I want to get as much air in there as I can. And I've got, you know, all the bloody firelight is on the God's earth on me. But I want to, wow, just use the ferro rod. And there's a lesson to all of you guys, alright? Never give up. Never give up, baby. So, we're looking good. Whether or not the oxygen in these holes is doing any good. We won't know for a while yet. Wow, doesn't that feel lovely? Does that feel lovely? Well, these damp logs I was telling you about, I'm just going to sit them on the outside and hopefully they're going to dry out at some stage, right? I'll stand in front of it because I don't want too much wind going through there. Right, battery's getting low, so you don't want to see any more of this. I think it's safe to assume we've got a fire. Awesome. Well, that's it. All of the them prepared pieces of wood are on there now, including all of the damp pieces all around the back. So hopefully there's going to be enough heat there to dry out those logs that were split and just on the floor. Okay. Now we got a hell of a lot of smoke kicking off of there, which is why I only decided to light the fire at night time, because you can't see the smoke. I'm standing in front of it, so it's sort of stopping a lot of the light. Most of it is buried under the floor, but it's far from a stealth camp. But we're pretty much shielded on 3 corners here, so you won't be able to see that from a distance. So yeah, we're getting a lot of heat, and hopefully it's going to dry out all of those pieces. And I've got some main fuel in a big long branch behind me. And all I'm going to do, rather than just saw it, I've got my saw, I'm just going to burn it in the middle, then I'm going to break it in half, burn it in half, and then just sew on, okay? There's no real need to use machetes and saws. Don't really need them, to be honest. But surprisingly, we get along just fine. Awesome. Well, that's just great. As you can probably see, we've got the main piece going right on the top. Now all that's going to do is burn in half. Then we're just going to keep bringing them in, okay? So we're going to be okay. Now another good thing about this is earlier on, obviously, we were kneeling down on the floor, knees were soaking wet. Just pulled the knee part of the trousers down a bit. Now we've got our knees probably about 10 inches, 12 inches from the flames. And already there, you can feel them drying off, and you can see smoke coming from me. So that's a good sign. But obviously, don't get carried away and get too close, because you go up like a match, and that wouldn't be too cool, would it? No, this is lovely, and I've not needed my fleece. I've just been wearing my t-shirt and my smock, and that's been plenty enough, you know. And it's still hard to believe that, you know, we're on what's the date today? 2nd of January 2016. The weather's crazy, guys. It really is. This should be about 2 or 3 degrees, you know, maybe sleet, snow, but no, we're very blessed. I hope you're liking the bush TV, as they call it. It's lovely, isn't it? Can't beat it, mate. Can't beat it. Right, as soon as we drunk all of our safe drinking water, it's time for the nasty stuff. Now, this is cool. I've been using the filter there for quite a while, and I trust it, okay? Famous last words. Now, I've done exactly the same process on Brecon, as you might have seen on another video, and it worked out quite well. So I thought I'm going to trial it for my bug out bag system. Alright. Oh, I don't know how you're seeing all this. I took out my big through night torch to film all of this, and you know where I keep banging on about the button being accidentally pressed. Well, guess what? It actually got pressed again, so I'm seriously hacked off of that, because that would have made all this filming so much better for you guys to see, rather than just a silly little headlamp moving around. Okay, so yep, lessons learned. Right. Crystal clear. Gotta love that one. That do. Yeah, I've got a nice big bag of drinks and sundries in there, all kept in one place. So let's find Aha. There we go. The chocky bag. Everyone needs a chocky bag, right? Okay. Stow that out of the way. I always try and keep the stick back so I can control the fire a bit. All I want is some coals to put my mug on. Nothing more, nothing less. Let me see. That looks good. Let's see, let's move that. Let's spread them there. Right. Shouldn't take too long. There she is. Whoa. Yes, it's Colonel Kurt's time, and we're trying out some Billy Bong. There it is. So this is going to be interesting. I'll tell you what, all my lights are failing. Talk about up against it. The main big through night one, that's gone. My tiny little one, which I sometimes put on top of the camera, that's just died. Now it looks like the batteries in my head torch are flashing to say they need changing as well. Wow, but we need something to eat. What have we got here? Oh, that's the oxygen absorber. We don't need that. Oh, wow. This is the stuff here. While we're waiting for the mug on the fire, nice to have a bit of a snack. And we got a nice little bed of coals to cook on now. Now that's the beauty of being in hard woods. There's no pine anywhere in these woods at all. So you always end up with good solid embers to cook on. There's no spitting. It's worked out okay because I didn't need a saw. So sawing hardwood's a lot harder than sawing pine wood. So we didn't need to do that. So we've had it pretty cushy really. It's either luck or I'm actually learning. Yeah, all good in the hood. Right, let's see. Oh yeah, we've got a nice rolling boil now, we're good. So we don't really need to spend time with pot hangers and that. We just put them up by the fire, nice and simple, quick, easy, and it didn't take too long to boil either. We're talking around 5 minutes. Awesome. Time for some chocolate. And of course the handles, they're cold to touch this side, so we're lucky, we're doing good. Well, I've been sat here for, I don't know, probably about an hour or so since the hot chocolate, which went down very nice. It's just, I don't know what it is, but fires, they just transfix you. And I've thought of nothing at all, just looking at that fire for nearly an hour. And I haven't felt this relaxed in ages. Ages, and it's just coming up to 1900, so it's not even 7 o'clock yet, and I just feel ready for bed. It's just madness. And yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you, you know. For you guys who have done this, especially on your own, it's a great opportunity to completely unwind, you know, for the stresses and the bullshit of modern life. It's just great to come out here, keep busy, think a lot, and keep the fire burning, as it were, you know. It's good for the soul, if that makes sense. Highly recommend it. Yeah, you could just look at that for hours, baby. It's beautiful. And yep, I still haven't got my fleece on, just a t-shirt and this smock, and my work trousers and my work boots. Happy as Larry, mate, no problem at all. Surprised myself really, you know, not needing all of the outdoor kit, etc. Just cracked on without a big knife. I mean, that's the first. Didn't use a saw. Just used my little EDC ferro rod, as you saw. Great, spot on. And it does sort of tick a box in your development, you know, doing this sort of thing. You know, because you ask anyone in the UK how wet it is, especially in the woodlands, and to, you know, keep this going, mate, it does make you feel good, you know. It's easy to throw the towel in and just use some Vaseline or whatever, or Vicks Vapor Rub. Well, I couldn't believe that one when that worked. Blimey, governor. Awesome. So yeah, all we're doing now is we've got the main fuel, which is great big, you know, 15-foot long wood limbs, which have been hanging up to dry for a couple of years. They're not rotten, they're all good to go. The average diameter is probably about 3 inches, so it's nothing major. Okay. So all we're doing is we're burning them in half, which enables us to break them like that. And then we just move the other bit along, drop it on. Nice and easy. I mean, yeah, you can do these great big long log fires, which I tried before, you know, you're sawing it, preparing it all. I understand the reasons behind that. If it's really cold and you want to keep a fire going all night long without tending to it, that's what you do. But for me, you know, this is great feeding the fire. I'm really enjoying it, okay? But the only thing, I mean, I'm quite lucky. The wind hasn't changed direction that much, but when it does, boy, is that a pain in the arse. Now, we all know what we're talking about, don't we, guys? Nope. Yeah, when the smoke goes in your face, that ain't no fun. Yeah, lovely bed of coals in there. Don't you just love it? And yeah, having those holes every now and again underneath, you know, the holes that are bored through, every now and again I've got to keep putting the stick through just to clear them, and then when the wind comes it just goes straight down the hole and gives it oxygen. It's an awesome little system. There you go, I just stoked it, and the air's getting in there already. Awesome. You know, most of the stuff is damp, obviously, because it's been wet. Even though it's been hanging up, it's still wet, if that makes sense. But the insides are bone dry. And all it does, you know, once it's on there for a certain amount of time, and it just heats up and heats up so much so that all of the moisture's burnt out of it. And it just catches, just like that. Well, you're seeing it with your own eyes there. I haven't had much wildlife. There was pheasants earlier roosting, but they're long gone quiet. No owls as such, which is a bit of a surprise, because I'm used to hearing owls about now. So who knows, maybe we'll be hearing those at some point. But yeah, it's good because the wind is coming from the same direction all the time, it's not changing that much. And believe you me, that makes a big difference when you try to plan where your fire is, where your shelter is, where you sit, etc. So far, we're doing good. So yeah, I'm just going to sit here for, I don't know, another hour or so, just chilling out by the fire. And I'm not sure what time I'm going to be eating. Who knows? Not really hungry. I mean, I've had that meal earlier. I've had me billabong, or biltong, and me mug of hot chocolate, and I'm happy as Larry, whoever Larry is. So I've no need to have anything else, just to sit back and unwind really. I will be cracking open a cigar later on, and I have got some single malt in my bug out bag, which we'll be having a look at later on. Right, we're having a lovely time by the fire, and just now and again when you just need to get some smaller stuff on there, okay, to make sure all them big wet horrible logs just dry out. Now we've got a little treat. Can you see that? Yes, Mr. Glenfiddich, 12-year-old. Now, one of my subscribers mentioned in a video I done a while ago about storing brandy or whatnot in metal hip flasks. Not a good idea apparently. So what I've done is I've just got a miniature. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. There's a miniature, right, in glass, but it's got its protective case. I've got kitchen roll and all the rest of it inside there. Now, some people might think it's not essential to have certain things in bug out bags. Don't listen to people like that. Just don't. Cheers. Shtf. Oh wow, that feels like lava running down your neck. That's awesome. Totally awesome. And I think I'll have a cigar now. I know it's early. Time check. It's 20:15, so it's 8:15. Got a Monte Cristo. Yeah, let's put it around there a bit. Oh, blinded by the light. Monte Cristo. Can you see that? Yeah. We just have to make do with the light, and I know it's really bright, and it's absolutely destroyed my night vision. I could barely see the camcorder. Alright, so you know, the things we do without like you guys ain't seeing shit, so it's either that or nothing, I'm afraid. And we all like cigar time with Uncle Funky, don't we? So, oh yes. Look. Now, this is a wide Churchill. So, Ben, you know the score. Let's put the tube away. I do like to keep my tubes because you get all sorts of uses out of those. Now, let's see if I can do this without screwing it up, because it's this is a skill in itself, doing this with a light shining at you. I'm guessing. Yep, just right. That's a bit of luck. You clipped that wrong, mate, and you're forever taking bits of cigar out of your mouth. That ain't no fun, Jake. Oh no. So, cheers people, Happy New Year. Well, that wind is blowing this. No, that is a fine smoke. Monte Cristo, people. So see how that fire's getting on, shall we? Well, yeah, we're bug out training, and so far we're doing rather well. Man, these are pretty awesome actually. Mate, you can struggle to survive. You can survive. You can thrive, or you can just downright live funky. Mate. This is living. Oh, certifica. Well, I hope everyone's had a half decent break over Christmas and New Year's. It's certainly been nice. Myself and my wife and the dogs, I treated her this year. We went away for a week. Not too far. We was there in 40 minutes. So, you know, I don't see the point in spending hours or days or whatever travelling to somewhere. You know, 40 minutes from where we live, and we was in the middle of the countryside and had a lovely cottage with a log burner, some beautiful walks, and yeah, we had everything set for Christmas, so we had a lovely time. And you know, when we come back, the 27th, you know, then it was our family, so we had like 3 Christmas days with the grandkids and my stepson. And then a few days after that, me folks come round and they stayed over. We went out for a nice Indian meal for New Year's, and had a few drinks and a nice time. And I got a few videos done as and when I could. I've been quite busy doing those, and I thought I really need to do an overnighter. Okay, and there's thousands of different scenarios and bits of kit I could have tried, but I thought, nope, I've got a bug out bag. What's the point of just keeping it in the wagon? Get out and use it, see what works and what don't work. And good job I did, because there's been a few shortcomings, as we've discovered earlier. Those Fire Dragon blocks, I think they're okay, but you really do need a proper container to use those. I am really considering Hexi instead now. So yeah, live and learn, eh? That's the only way forward, really, is to try new ideas, and you know, if you can, share it with others. Give everyone else a bit of a leg up if they're struggling or whatnot. So yeah, that's how I'm living, baby. It's I think that's the right thing to do. Oh man, that's so nice and warm. I'm still sitting here with me trousers, boots, me t-shirt and me smock. It's just one layer of cotton and a t-shirt. Can you believe that? Yep, yes sir. Incidentally, sitting on this stump, rather than just letting all the cold, damp leach heat from your arse, I've just used my Bergen cover with my fleece jacket inside it as a cushion, and yeah, that's doing rather well. As I say, it's really no need to be uncomfortable, you know. You're only limited by your shortfalls and your imagination, really, so just think your way out of stuff. That's one of the reasons I love doing this. You know, you're on your own, you've got no one else to blame or whatever. You know, you make it happen. Oh, do you know what? I doubt very much if there's anyone else more relaxed than me right now. It really is, Jack. It's incredible. Just got zero energy, just so relaxed, unwind and tuned in, you know. Absolutely loving it. Got no idea how long we've got left of this fire. I'm going to get that clean, fill it up with water, and just keep it by the side of the fire, just bubbling away on a slow simmer. Okay, so when the time comes for something to eat later, it's not going to be too much trouble to get that boiling. Alright, what we don't want to do is to let the fire die down and then try to cook on embers which are rapidly getting cold. Alright, just a little tip. Wow, the temperature's starting to drop now, and as you can see, the fire is on its last stages. We can jig that around a bit to get some flames going, but I'm just keeping it as it is now. I don't know if you can see it, but the Crusader mug there is full up with water, and it's just been boiled, and it's just sitting near there just to keep warm. Okay, as I said, I'm just going to put that on there to boil it up, as and when I feel like I need something to eat. Obviously, because the flames aren't licking and keeping me nice and warm now, I'm just going to go into the basher, go into my Bergen, which is still all packed, and get my softy top out, because that's part of my cold weather clothing kit, is my softy top. I didn't bother with the trousers. I've got long johns, but to be honest, I don't really need to wear them. It's not that cold out here, and I think it's important to keep your core warm. And if you start to feel that you are just starting to get cold, then's the time to go and put some layers on, okay, and to warm yourself up. Because once you get cold, it's very hard to warm up again, unless you fancy doing some physical exercise, running around in the woods in the dark, which is not a good idea. So that's what I'm going to do now, is get my softy top on underneath this smock, and I can sit here, no problems, and I'll be nice and warm. So yep, we're lucky with the weather. It's still not raining. I've just been on the phone to Sandy. Hello Sandy, lovely talking to you again, mate. And I do enjoy our chats, and it's a shame that we can't, get out as often as we would like. Sandy's over there busy making all these wonderful knives for people, and I'm got a full-time job, etc. But Sandy and I are hoping to get together before summertime to do a camp with a friend of mine as well, Paul, Neanderthal 62. Hello Paul. So yes, it's a date, mate. Us three are definitely going to be doing an overnight camp within the next 3 months. Okay, all we got to do is just finalise a date, as you do. So yeah, I'm getting to be, like I said, outdoors now, having to start doing advanced bookings. Because if you don't plan anything, it doesn't happen, and planning's everything. Okay. Well, that's sorted out now. Oh, what an amazing difference having the softy jacket. So I've just got my wicking t-shirt, my softy jacket, smock back on, still got my wool hat on, lovely, no problem at all. And it's quite funny actually, because when I took my smock off, 2 little pieces of birch bark dropped out. So there was some squirreled away, and I've just chucked them on there because I'm not going to be doing a fire in the morning. I'm only doing a fire at night time, because as I said, I don't want the smoke giving me away. And this is a nice small manageable fire now in this little pit, which is nice. Okay, it's coming up to 9:45, and it's time for something to eat. Now, I've had a few people say, why do you eat so late? Now, personally, I'm not a fan of drinking a hot drink just before I go to bed. For me, I don't know about anyone else, but a few hours later, I need to have a pee, right? So I'll get my hot drink out of the way at least about an hour and a half, 2 hours before I turn in. That gives me a chance to urinate, get it out of my system. All this is going to do is just going to fuel my machine to keep me warm in my sleeping bag throughout the night, okay? Because I'm quite away from the fire, and that's going to be gone in about half an hour to an hour anyway. So that's the reason why I like to eat just before I go to bed, okay? That's how many calories, so it should be just right. Incidentally, chicken korma is not one of my favourites, but this particular one from Mountain House, the flavour is amazing, okay? It really is nice. And it doesn't have to be really hot and spicy, because the last thing you want is having the shits outdoors, okay? Well, just about to tuck into the food. That's all rehydrated nicely, and the owls have just started in the distance, so no doubt they're going to be chatting amongst themselves for the next couple of hours. But I have missed them, to be honest. I do like the owls, they're fun. Can you hear them? When I hear owls these days, it reminds me of that time when Scott and I went camping over in Somerset, and there was owls everywhere. There was so many of them, and we done well to get some sleep. Oh, it was so funny. But it's just the buzz of being outdoors, the odd vixen now and again. Makes it sound like some woman's being murdered. Just absolutely love it, you know. Absolutely love it. So all I'm doing now is just going to try and burn as much as I can out of this last remaining bits of fuel, and get some scoff down my neck, as we used to say, and get into my sleeping bag and unwind properly, you know, because there's no point in sitting around out here without a fire, gradually getting cold. Get into your sleeping bag, okay? It will keep your body heat from escaping and serve you well. You really can't beat it. You really can't beat it. Solo overnighters, the best, absolute best. Well, on the remnants of the fire now, and I'm just loving those coals. Beautiful. Needed to cook something. That's all bed of coals, perfect. You just don't get that with pine, unfortunately. Anything dry that lands on that is just going to get incinerated instantly. It's definitely taken some tending though to burn every single last bit. Okay. Very hot. Beautiful.